Are you finding it challenging to make time in your busy schedule to prepare a good, healthy meal? Then Green Chef is here to help you. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. With premium ingredients like organic vegetables and high-quality protein, it's a given. Go to greenchef.com/rice100 to get $100 off, including free shipping.
What's a political correct term to describe people like you versus people like me?
People like you versus people like me.
But I was thinking most people fall in one of those two camps, right?
Yeah. I think a correct way would be a nice, compassionate person and douchebag.
Mentally well-adjusted person versus...
Douchebag. Mentally well-adjusted douchebag versus compassionate, sweet, slightly anxious person.
Welcome to Rise to Meet You, a comedy podcast where two comedian friends try to be funny. I'm your host, Nigel Ng.
I'm your host, Evelyn Walk.
Yes.
Now you do a face when you say funny.
Yeah, it's a visual podcast too.
Oh my God.
You know, it's being an entertainer. You have to use every muscle of your body to extract out the most joy from people.
Okay.
You know, that's my philosophy. Welcome back, people.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I'm still in Sweden.
I know. I see a lot of your Insta stories. They're nice.
They're great.
Yeah. You had a baby in your arms recently.
I did.
Right? Very, very cute.
Did.
Good job, Suhan and Peter. You guys made a good one. You guys made a good... I've seen a ton of ugly babies in my life. And I think Suhan and Peter really made a good one.
How come you've seen so many ugly babies?
I love babies. I always check them out. You know?
Oh my God.
I see a baby, I see a hot girl, I do a double take. Like,
oh my God.
Let's look at the pram. A lot of the times they're quite ugly. But I think Suhan and Peter had the benefit of being like, you know, a mixed race couple. So you get the good genes from both mom and dad, you know? So it was a good baby.
Genes.
Solid 8 out of 10. Suhan's baby is an 8. Very hot baby. Better be careful, Suhan.
Nigel!
What?
Stop!
What?
Stop objectifying my friend's baby.
No, objectifying your friend's baby. I'm just saying he's attractive.
It's a she.
Well,
or whatever they grow up to want to be. But
no. I hope Suhan never does that. I hope she inculcates into her, you're a she, wear a skirt.
Oh my God.
Kidding.
It's my friends had a baby and I went to visit the baby. Her name was Alva. And she's
nice
very
name.
Cute.
Nice name for a cute baby. Alva is one of those names where I think it's hard to be ugly and be named Alva also. It would suck, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's a very maybe it's a very common Swedish name, but when I hear it sounds a bit exotic and cool. You know, people hear Alva. If you're an ugly Alva, it's kind of ugh, you know?
That's Wait, is it because it's such a like Lord of the Ringsy name?
Yeah, it just sounds exotic and different and unique. You know?
Alva.
Yeah. So good job, Sophie. Good job on Alva. It's very, very cute baby. Congratulations.
Suhan.
Oh, Suhan. Sorry.
Her name was Suhan.
Yeah.
And her baby is so cute. And she's like a month old. And I got to hold her. And it was like a bit touch and go because the night before, I felt I was a bit stuffy. And I've been traveling a bunch. So I was like, oh no, maybe I've caught something. Maybe I've caught COVID. But then I took a bunch of tests. Like I brought all of these lateral flow tests that you get free in the UK. I brought them to Sweden. And so I just took like 3 tests. And then the morning of, I took like 2 tests and they were both negative. And then my stuffiness cleared up. But then me and Suhan were like, okay, you're not going to touch the baby. I'm like, okay, I won't touch the baby. But then I got there. I sat there for like 2 hours not touching the baby. And then I was like, can I hold her? And she was like, yeah. And so I got to hold the baby. And
nice.
She was so cute. She's so cute. And the thing is like, Suhan immediately, because our other friend, Didem, she was holding Alva and she held her for like 5 seconds and she was like, here, take the baby. Because a lot of people are kind of like squirmy when they're that small because they're so new. And, but I've heard it, as Suhan told it to me now, and I've heard it from a bunch of other people. They always say that I'm very natural with babies. And I think that I am too. I'm very good with babies and kids because honestly, I think that's what I was put on the planet to do. I'm just here to be like a reproductive machine, but I don't have anyone to reproduce with. So I'm just here to be like a wet nurse for everybody else's babies. Like, honestly, you know, in those like films, like period films where rich people always have like a wet nurse, an older wet nurse who comes in and takes care of the baby so they can go and be rich. Like, I think I'm that person. And also, I think I must have been that person in an earlier life because it's like, I am very natural with babies and I love just taking care of babies. But I have like no prospects of having one myself.
Oh, don't say that. Have some confidence. You know? You're not an incel, Evelyn. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll find a nice man. And also, if you want to be a wet nurse, you got to be able to breastfeed. That's one of their jobs.
Really?
Yeah. That's why it's called
Is that a thing?
Wet nurse.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You have to breastfeed. So you need to get a baby too. You need to get your own baby to get your body to start being able to produce milk.
Wait, so are wet nurses just like constantly having babies so that they can feed their own babies and others'
It's not
babies?
constantly having babies. It's like when you have a baby and if you keep breastfeeding, then your body keeps producing milk.
Are you serious?
So yeah, they just wet nurse this baby, then the next baby, then it just keeps producing. Yeah.
Oh, I
They
didn't
only
know
need to
that.
have one baby. Yeah.
But that's so weird. I mean, I would feel so weird if my baby was like breastfeeding from another woman. That's really weird.
Why?
Isn't that like, that's like a scene in one of the horror films where like this, she's a nanny. And then one scene is that because she's trying to basically take over this family and she's trying to kill the mother. And then she's taking care of the baby and then she breastfeeds the baby. And it's like the scariest scene I've ever
but
seen.
you shouldn't live your life based on what horror films tell you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to
crazy.
answer any phones, any phone call. I'm never going to answer phone calls because you have 7 days to live. You shouldn't live your life based on what horror films tell you. Okay? And
but
and
it's like,
I think
creepy.
I would totally get a wet nurse.
Really?
I want my wife to be able to have a good night's sleep.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like your body, like my friend was telling me, she was like, she has to get up because she starts feeling it. Because, women have to pump because they're like cows, basically. For the first like few years of the baby's life when they're breastfeeding, they're like cows. So they have to get up and pump because like the boobs start hurting around like 4 a.m. or something. So no matter what, she has to get up and she has to feed the baby.
Yeah.
Because like her body starts hurting if she doesn't.
You can do a mixture of both. I think sometimes it's inconvenient to pump, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're at a business meeting. And unfortunately, society still kind of looks at it weird if I just pumping your tits in the middle of a boardroom.
That would be such a power move.
Yeah.
That would be such a power
Can
move.
we get like female CEOs to do that? Zzz, right? You were saying, Bob? Zzz.
I think there's so many. I think they do it in their office. But I mean, Nigel, if I get pregnant and we're still doing the podcast, I'm gonna pump on the podcast.
Yeah, do it. I don't care. As long as it can still be funny. But also, you have to buy a silent one because otherwise you'll ruin the sound quality.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you have to do a
That's
silent
right.
one. I don't mind.
No. I want it to make sound because that's the power move. So everybody can hear that I'm pumping.
Yeah, but it's just a shit podcast then. Welcome
So,
to Rise to Meet
Nigel,
You.
Tell me about your latest date and
Listen,
the latest.
you wanna pump? Go for it. You can even squirt your breast milk to the camera. I don't give
Oh
a
my
shit. That is the
God.
ultimate power move. Yeah, we'll get demonetized by YouTube. Who cares? I'll let you do that. I don't care.
That's more. People will have to pay for that.
Yeah, that's Patreon exclusive. The breast milk special.
Patreon exclusive. But the thing is, like, it's my friends feed her a bottle as well. So you could be a nanny and just feed a bottle to the baby.
Well, the
You
bottle is
don't have
probably
to
milk that she pumped out from the night before or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think both are fine. I think babies like to be close to the moms too in the scent. So I think breastfeeding.
She does, yeah.
Breastfeeding live is important too. You gotta
Yeah.
live breastfeed.
Well, she tells me, she's like, basically she doesn't, Alva doesn't like the dummy, the, what's it called? Sucky?
Pacifier.
Pacifier?
Yeah.
She doesn't like the pacifier. But she likes to be with her. So basically she's using Suhan as a pacifier. So sometimes she's like, she doesn't even eat. She's just there kind of like just nibbling kind of because she wants to be close to
That is a smart
her mom.
baby. Who?
It is a smart.
Right? I prefer tits over pacifiers too.
Oh,
I
Nigel.
think it's a very normal thing. Sigmund Freud would agree with me. You know, Freud would be like, yeah, Nigel, good points. Fuck pacifiers, bro. This bro-y Sigmund Freud. Yeah, you want to fuck your mom, right? You want to fuck your mom, right, bro?
I think Freud was very bro-y. He was probably the original bro.
I don't know. I think he's probably a very beta male cuck, one of those.
Beta male cock?
I want to fuck
I really
my mom.
don't think so.
But you shouldn't say you are good with babies, you know.
Why?
Because I think then you're just, that's what society want women to think. You're complicit in the patriarchy, Evelyn. Oh, I'm a woman and all I'm good for is good with babies. Ah. You should drop the baby. Like, that's how, if you're a true feminist, you should be bad with babies. You just drop the baby to be a true feminist.
Oh my God. Just
drop, pong, and then Suhan's like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm furthering the cause for us sisters. What have you done, Suhan? What have you done? You internalized the white gaze. That's what you've done.
Internalize the white gaze.
And you are just performative. You're performing for the male gaze, and you internalize your internalized racism. You married a white guy. Da, 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 da. So that's why I dropped your baby, Suhan.
Oh my God.
For the good of all women out there. Sorry, Alva, but you have been a pawn in my quest for feminism.
Yeah. She's been a casualty in your quest for humor.
Yes, that's what you need to do. If you want true equality, drop a few babies, women.
No, the thing is, I honestly think it's like, I'm just realizing more and more how I'm governed by my biology as time goes on.
You can't think like that. That's what the patriarchy wants you to think, Evelyn.
It's like, but that's the thing. It's like the eternal human paradox, isn't it? The human condition. We somehow managed to develop into these beings that became sentient and like have critical thought. Well, sometimes critical thought and all of these things. But then that's like, we're constantly struggling with our, like, you know, just like basic animal instincts. Like it's always those two at the head of each other. So it's like, of course it's a mind fuck just being a person. It's like, it's always these two fighting, always. And then there's like, we have outlets for some of them. Sports. Sports is an outlet for the animalistic part. Sex is an outlet for the animalistic part.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we can read and stuff. We can write essays. We can have discussions. And then you can have like an outlet for
and you can drop a baby.
And you can drop
and then
a
society
baby.
will slowly start to change and thinking, oh, women are just not meant for child rearing. Have you all my women friends drop babies? They're terrible at child rearing. I think we can only achieve, and this is the radical feminist in me speaking, but I think we can only achieve full equality if men can get pregnant. You know?
Oh yeah.
We should start implanting ovaries into men. Yeah. Why isn't any scientist researching this?
Have you not seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger film?
Which one?
With where he becomes pregnant with Emma Thompson?
No. What?
He's a scientist. First of all, it's a very, very unbelievable film.
What's the film
Arnold,
called?
I can't remember what it's called, but Google it. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Emma Thompson film. It's like, so it's a very unrealistic film to begin with because Arnold Schwarzenegger is a scientist in it. Then again, he's a very smart man. It turned out he's a very smart man because he became governor and married a Kennedy. But then Emma Thompson
he fucked his maid before the Me Too movement. That is a genius move, Arnold. You do that, your career is over. But you do that back then, fuck yeah, bro. I see what you're doing. He predicted the future. He saw his major like, if I don't fuck you now, I can't fuck you in 20 years, you know?
Oh my God.
So very smart. God. I agree with you. Very smart guy. Very smart guy.
I think that was probably consensual.
I mean, yeah, sure, but a lot of things are consensual now, but people still get canceled for like affairs and stuff, no? Right? Matt Hancock got into a lot of trouble recently, but sorry,
really?
That's besides the point. Finish the movie plot. Sorry.
Well, the movie plot is that I don't know, he experiments and stuff, and then he gets pregnant with Emma Thompson's baby, And it's just about a man being pregnant in that film. And it's really funny watching Arnold Schwarzenegger be pregnant. And Danny DeVito's in it too. I think it was either this film was after Twins or this film was before Twins. But it was like in that very short-lived kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger teamed up with Danny DeVito kind of prime years. As a comedy duo.
Never seen that film before. I don't think that's one of his more known films, unfortunately.
It used to run all the time in Sweden.
Really?
Let me find what it's called.
Of course they would.
Thompson.
One of the most equal countries in the world. Of course it would show that. Men can get pregnant too, people.
It's called Junior. It's called Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito and Emma Thompson.
Scientists, chop, chop. I want an ovary in me. I want fallopian tubes. Implant me with all the women gear.
Oh my God, it would be great if you got pregnant, Nigel.
Yeah. I'd be great. I'd be like, what are these women bitching about? It's so easy. Typical women just bitching. Oh, morning sickness. Yeah. You never thrown up before after a night out, huh? You know?
Oh my God. It's so funny. You go from being a radical feminist in one moment to be
the most sexist pig out there. I contain multitudes, people.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had that exciting of a time here in London. I've just been because I'm moving soon, right? I'm moving like a little bit further out from the center of the city, so I have to buy a car. You know, and I'm thinking of buying a car. I think that's the thing people need to have when they hit their 30s. You know, one of the things you need to buy, right?
But you live in London. You don't really need a car.
Yeah, but I want to drive to the gym. You know,
you want to drive to the gym?
My gym's 1.5 miles away.
Why? Why did you get such a gym that's so far away?
It's a nice gym. You can go to a shitty Pure gym that's close.
Yeah,
or you can
my gym.
Drive a bit further.
My gym. I can see my gym from my window.
Listen, my gym. This gym I want to go to has a electric charging outlet, so I'm like, it's a no-brainer. Because I don't have I want to buy an electric car, first of all, because I care about the environment, and it's good for tax purposes too. And let's not kid ourselves.
Of course,
it's mainly for the tax purposes.
Yeah, it's mainly for the tax purposes. Yeah.
So I want to buy an electric car, and I only have street parking in my new place, right?
Okay.
So I don't have a driveway I can install my own charger. So I need to find. I live a 2-minute walk away from a supercharger already, which is very, very good. But I also need to find somewhere where I can park, go do stuff, and then charge my car. So the gym is perfect for that. And it's a nice gym, steam room, sauna, spa, everything. So it's going to be really a good investment. Plus, I will drive it to my gigs too. I'm a comedian. Stand-ups, yeah.
You're going to drive into central London? You're
going
to drive your car to Top Secret?
When I tour.
I
won't drive to central London. No, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I I'll drive my own car. Yeah.
Okay. You can drive it when you tour. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're so surprised. You know, as a fellow stand-up, you should be like, oh yeah, stand-up comedian buying a car. Duh. I should have done this ages ago.
Yeah, but it's because you don't do a lot of gigs outside of London anymore, except for when you're going to tour. Yeah. But then, you're not going to tour, constantly. So it's like...
That's fine. I'll
you don't really need a car.
Yeah, but I want a car.
Okay.
You don't just buy things you need. That'd be a very depressing life. I want to be able to go on holidays like Soho Farmhouse, the Cotswolds, Lake District, Peak District, whatever. I just want to be able to just go.
You're really like, your lifestyle is really changing.
What lifestyle? I just have a car now. How's that different?
No, but like you're moving to a house, you get a car, an electric car that needs charging. You have a gym that's like really super far away, has a sauna and all of those stuff and everything and blah blah blah. Yeah, and you don't want to go to Costco with me.
Yeah, I've never been to a Costco. Even when I was broke as shit, I've never been to a Costco.
Everybody needs to go to a Costco. I really want to go. But so you're really changing your lifestyle. You're buying a car for tax purposes.
I'm in my 30s. This is what people in their 30s do, okay? I'm divorced, that's another 30s lifestyle thing. I'm hitting all the 30 goals at age 30. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Divorce, single again, the date again. The car, yeah. But the problem is, I want to buy a Tesla, the cheapest version. I'm not rich, so I would buy the cheapest Tesla. And
how much is the cheapest Tesla?
It's cheap. Don't worry about it. I don't like talking about numbers,
Oh, you don't?
I really hate talking about numbers. Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's just very crass and crude.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it, Nigel?
I don't ever like to talk about money, So I find it a very crass question, a very faux pas question, Evelyn. It just shows that people don't talk about prices when they buy things. You just say, oh, it's very nice. Oh, it's not good. I don't want price to be a determining factor in my life,
Oh my God,
So-
you're from Asia. In Asia, they keep the price tag on even when they give a gift. So
I
people
know.
know how much you spent on the gift.
And I don't like that. I think it's the cause of a lot of mental health problems in Asia because of the constant comparing and the envy.
Oh, come on.
And that rat race of keeping up with the Joneses, So I buy a
Keeping
car
up with the Changs.
for me. Yeah, keeping up with the Changs and the Wins. And I buy a car for me. I don't care what my neighbors drive. I buy a car for me.
Mm-hmm,
And it's probably a shit car compared to, all my neighbors, but I don't care. I buy a car for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will not answer that question, Evelyn. But when you buy a Tesla,
I'll Google.
yeah, you can Google it. When you buy a Tesla, I'm trying to get the Model 3, right? And then the thing is, they just talk about shit I don't care about to sell you the car. They love
shit?
talking about their 0 to 60 miles per hour in like 4.2 seconds, 4.8 seconds. I'm like, I don't care. I live in London. I drive 2 seconds and I hit a traffic light. Okay? And there's a zebra crossing. When am I ever going to use a 0 to 60?
But isn't it because Tesla, they always sell cars to like millionaires who live in like a secluded kind of like, plot of land. And so when they go somewhere, they do need to get from 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds because they need to get out of there quick. So, vroom.
I don't like how you stereotype Tesla owners, Evelyn.
Okay.
As a Tesla owner with humble beginnings, I don't appreciate that. I live in a metropolitan city.
The Tesla owner, the actual owner of Tesla, is shooting himself up into the sky. So.
Yeah. And he's doing great. And a Tesla, yeah, I think it's really good. Electric is the future, people. But you like in the UK, they're gonna ban sales of new petrol cars in 2030.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's been announced, so they brought it forward. So I think, eventually everybody will have to drive fully electric, or maybe hybrids.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hybrids
I think
and
it's
electric,
it's a good investment. You buy a car, keep it for like years, and the battery doesn't degrade that fast. But another thing they brag about is like top speed. And then the top speed of the car I want is like, they say, top speed, 145 miles per hour. And I'm like, speed limit in the UK is like 70. Like, why all that extra? Can you put that work to something else? Maybe like stop working at the top speed and have a cup holder in the car. Shit I'll actually use.
Yeah, I know. It's always
Do
like,
they think we all are Top Gear fans? I
Yeah.
don't like cars. I just need a car to go to the gym. I'm not gonna
Well,
try.
that's the thing. Like, they sell cars as if they're selling it to people who watch NASCAR and stuff, or
Yeah.
interested in
Or
that
Formula
stuff.
One.
But it's like, yeah, but you only want to, sell it to normal people. It is that thing. Can you maybe, like, do you have a system where I could do my makeup in the car while I'm driving? Or like, could you kind of solve me texting at the same time as driving?
Yeah,
That would be
can
great.
the
That
Bluetooth
would be
actually
so
work
good.
nicely?
Yeah.
Can you have an automatic beeping when I'm reversing instead of having me buy my own sensor?
But most cars have that, though. I think.
Okay, baby. Last time I owned a car was like years ago when I was a teenager in Malaysia. So car technology has developed a lot now. I get it. But like 145, are you gonna kill some children? Is that what you want to do with a car?
You have to go on the Autobahn to do that.
Yeah, and I never want. I'm driving this car to Whole Foods. Top speed of 71 is enough.
Stop just getting a car to go to the gym and Whole Foods.
I want that like soccer mom life, the yummy mummy life, the hot
In that
mom
case,
life.
you have to go to Costco with me.
Hot moms don't go to Costco. Hot moms drive to Whole Foods in their Range Rovers.
Oh, God.
It's a little boy. It's a toy for boys. Let me have my thing.
Toy for
The toy for boys. Women took away a lot of stuff for men.
Oh, my God, Nigel, do not go down that route.
Red pill,
Come
red pill,
on.
people. women took away all the affection and the rights and the working class jobs, and now all I can do is buy a Tesla.
Women took away being quiet when being violated by men. That's what we took away.
Yeah. So I will give you that, and then so I'll have my Tesla in return. You know what I mean? You can't just keep taking and taking. I mean, you need to get something too.
Oh my God.
This is a radical red pill, Nigel.
Oh gosh.
No,
That's
but
like,
it's gonna be great, man. We can even record a pod in the car, you know.
In the car? Why would we sit in the car?
Nah. What color would you get? What color would you get if you had a car? I'm thinking of the colors. You know, Tesla, the one I want to buy, they come with like white, black, gray, blue, red. You know,
that's terrible colors. I would get a black car. I always like
but black.
I quite like sleek.
Attracts fingerprints the easiest though, and like dust is the most visible.
Oh yeah, but that's fine. Just wash it. Just wash it and don't touch it. Don't touch your car.
Wash it and you know how often it rains in London, so there's gonna be watermarks on there.
Yeah, there's gonna be watermarks.
Black is very sleek though. I agree.
Black is nice.
I'm thinking blue, because I'm thinking blue. It's very classy.
What kind of blue is it?
It's one shade lighter than navy. It's a very classy blue. All the shades are beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, I do like red as well because it is like, but red is very in your face.
Yeah,
it's like
very
a statement.
Loud. Yeah, I don't like being showy, you know? So
you don't?
No, I hate it. I hate it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Let me just drive my little humble Tesla. Okay.
Your humble Tesla. I'm going to make you drive me to Costco.
No. You get an Uber. This Tesla is not going anywhere near a Costco. This Tesla is not going anywhere near a Poundland. A Costco. It's Whole Foods.
Those are all the best stores.
It's Whole Foods and my health club. That's it. Notice I didn't even say gym. I say health club.
Health club. Oh my God.
It's Whole Foods and Third Space. That's it. That's all I want to go.
Third Space. Yeah. Oh gosh. If you get a car, I mean, I would get a black one still, though. I really like black.
I think I'm going to go do a test drive and then see all the colors in front of me and then make my decision then. Yeah.
Okay.
White is very cool, too. Tesla looks so good in white, but it looks a bit, like, nerdy. You know?
I think white, I always think of my uncle's old Toyota. Was it a Toyota? They had it for, like, 20 years. I don't know. White on a car is, unless it's like a... what are those called? Not a Rolls Royce. Yeah, maybe a Rolls Royce.
The pedo van. The pedo van. That's what it reminds me of.
So you're gonna have a pedo Tesla?
Yeah.
You're gonna be an environmentally conscious pedophile?
Yeah. Charge up at the petrol station. The kid unconscious in the boot.
Someday something's going to happen
Listen,
where you get
kids.
accused of something.
Hey.
Someday something's going to happen where you get accused of something and they're just going to clip up everything from the podcast. Just everything from the podcast.
The environmentally conscious pedophile. That's my new character.
God. Yeah, okay.
I love touching kids, but I think we have to make sure the earth is still a habitable place for them. I want the kids to be happy ultimately. You know? This is the kids' future. And global warming, all these crazy, adverse, extreme weather conditions just make it harder for me to pick up kids on the street. When it starts raining, their moms just come pick them up. And I like, ugh. So we need to take care of climate change. Greta Thunberg was right and very hot. And she was right too. Greta Thunberg just turns me on in so many ways. She's so smart and intelligent.
Okay. You can't. You're not allowed to watch her TED Talk. You're not allowed to watch anything of Greta Thunberg.
15 minutes of her with close-ups?
Nigel! Stop it. If she ever does a TED Talk, you're banned from watching it.
I am so sick of this. You keep taking and taking.
Is that a direct quote from her?
I forget what she said. I was trying my best, I couldn't remember what she said. I was trying to do my impression of her, but I realized I couldn't. But if I do my character, the environment, the green pedophile,
Oh my
the green pedo. Hey kids, come into my Tesla, and then I will have the wing door ones, the expensive one, the one with the wing doors, the Model X.
The green pedo, that would be Kermit the Frog's pedo name if he ever got like done for pedophilia.
I recycle and I touch kids.
Oh gosh. All right. Okay, let's move on, please.
Is it just me, or does anybody else find it funny too? Or is it just me and a select few fucked up people who are fans of me, not you? Your fans are like the nicest people. Mm-hmm. I realize on the comments, you're like, Evelyn, I love you so much. You're so brave to talk about your trauma on a podcast. And then my fans are like, yeah, pedo jokes. Yes, love it. Yeah. Nigel's hilarious.
Yeah. I think we've gotten to that place where our differences are so clear now.
Yeah. Imagine we do a live Rise to Meet You. There's gonna be chaos.
Oh yeah,
there's fights are gonna break out.
Yeah.
With the body positive feminist fans. You know.
I just think that the people who maybe appreciate what I say on the podcast are just regular people, Nigel. They're just regular people.
I think regular people like a pedo joke every now and then, you know. And also, I'm a radical feminist.
Every now and then.
I'm a radical feminist.
Oh my god!
I just said the most radical feminist things, like to implant ovaries in men. You know. I'm on every side of the aisle, you know.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I'm all over
You're
the
like
map.
Aaron Burr.
I read
like
Roxanne Gay, but also read Jordan Peterson.
Oh my god. You're like Aaron Burr. If you stand for nothing, Burr, then what do you fall for?
Well, I was going to say, it's one of those like to want to be brave to be kind sayings. If you stand for nothing, then
that's a Hamilton quote.
Oh, I'm trying to watch that. You know, they're reopening in London. I haven't got to watch it yet, but I'm trying to watch it when they reopen on the 19th. So I'm going to try to book a ticket. Yeah,
I want to see it too. Yeah.
But speaking of like Roxanne Gay, I've been listening to one of your idols. You know,
my idols,
Brene Brown.
Oh, Brene Brown.
Yeah, she is your Coldplay. Brene Brown is like the sad empowered woman's Coldplay. You know what I mean?
Sad empowered woman's Coldplay. She's like, okay, Brene Brown it is true, but also she's a vulnerability researcher.
Yeah.
She researches vulnerability and shame.
Yes, happy women never call themselves empowered. I just realized it's a very sad term. Have you heard Suhan say she's empowered? No.
I haven't said I'm empowered.
Well, okay, you give off the vibe. You are very empowered, Evelyn. And I think
Am I, Nigel?
I think you are. You have a career. You're independent. You make a good living. You know, career driven.
Okay.
I think most women nowadays are very empowered, and I'm all for that. But Brene Brown is. I'm always up for discovering new intellectuals and psychologists and stuff. You know, so I was like, okay, Evelyn likes her. Let's see what she's got. And I have to say. And I've only listened to her two most popular TED Talks on YouTube. That's my extent of her research. So maybe her books are different and better. But it's a bunch of like pseudo, vague, feel-good stuff. It's a lot of accurate, correct stuff. But it's a lot of pseudo, vague, like feel-good, self-help, yay stuff that I'm like, oh God.
So, okay, let's just start with...
I can see why Evelyn likes it. And I've clipped up a few things. I can show you exactly what I mean. I clipped up a few things on my phone. I'll play it later. But... Tell me more about Brene Brown.
No, you tell me about Brene Brown.
Yeah, she's a vulnerability researcher. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I think vulnerability is very worth researching. You know, it's a field of psychology that's not a lot of literature written about it. So I was like, okay, let's see if she has anything interesting to say. Turns out, there's a lot of common sense stuff. Maybe you'll have a lot of nuggets of wisdom here and there. But okay, let me play something for you. And you'll see what I mean, yeah? Mm-hmm. So listeners, we only play the audio. We'll beam it through our sound system and stuff. So this is the first clip. So this is her referring to after she did her first TED Talk about shame, right? Of vulnerability.
She talked about vulnerability.
Yeah, she talked about vulnerability in her first TED Talk.
She has a TED Talk about vulnerability, and it went viral.
Yep. And then this is from a second TED Talk called Listening to Shame. Mm-hmm. So she talks about, listen.
One of the weird things that's happened is after the TED explosion, I got a lot of offers to speak all over the country. Everyone from schools and parent meetings to Fortune 500 companies. And So many of the calls went like this. Hey, Dr. Brown, we loved your TED Talk. We'd like you to come in and speak.
Yeah, okay. First of all, ridiculous, I think, from these organizers and companies' part. Like, she's known for vulnerability and shame. Why would you tell her to talk about everything but that? You know, so I'm on her side here. Okay.
What would you like for me to talk about? There's 3 big answers. This is mostly, to be honest with you, from the business sector. Innovation, creativity, and change. So let me go on the record and say, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change.
Okay, like this, it sounds good, it sounds correct and wise, and people are clapping. Like, woo! But if you really analyze it, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation and change. Really? Is that the birthplace? Is it not a sense of entrepreneurship? You think Jeff Bezos, when he founded Amazon, it was from vulnerability? No, it was because these books get here too fucking slow. I want the books to get here faster. And then he founded Amazon. Is vulnerability part of it? Sure. Because you need to have a bit of that to put a creation out into the world? Sure. But it's not the birthplace. It's a necessary condition, not a birthplace of... That's not where Amazon or Tesla came from. As Elon Musk was vulnerable in a petrol car, so I feel so vulnerable in here. Let's create Tesla. No. So yeah, that's one of the things I picked out. It's like, can we stop with the feel-good sayings, these platitudes? You know, I get it. You're not. It sounds really nice and very like quotable, but it's like if you really analyzed it, it's kind of bullshit. Some of the sentences she says, it's kind of bullshit.
This was exactly how I expected Nigel to react to Brene Brown.
Yeah, an intelligent, nuanced view.
Well, the thing is, when she says she's explained how it is, she's explained that in that quote, and she explains it afterwards as well. But when she says vulnerability is a birthplace,
she kind of hand waves it away. I've clipped up the next few sentences she talks about too. She hand waves it away.
Okay.
And if I were in the audience, I'd be, excuse me, Miss Brown, when you say birthplace, what exactly do you mean?
She means vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and what was the third one she was saying?
Yeah.
Change. Because you have to be vulnerable to know that you're going to fail. That's
not the definition
essential
of birthplace. You know?
It is.
No.
Okay, so what's the definition of birthplace?
The root cause. Right?
Well, she means that creativity is the birthplace of, the birthplace of like making something creative. You have to be in a place.
Creativity is the birthplace of making something creative. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And to be in a creative space, you have to be vulnerable enough to extract ideas, and then also be vulnerable enough to know that they might fail. And then if they fail, you have to be open enough to be like, okay, this failed, that hurt, but okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna change this, and I'm gonna go and try something else. I'm not gonna give up.
You're right, but that's not what she's saying.
That's what she's saying.
No. Okay.
Okay, what's she saying?
If you have
Tell
all
me
the
what
vulnerability, she's saying like vulnerability causes all these things. Like she's making a statement that's too strong. The statement can't stand its own.
Causes
a root, a birthplace. I guess if we can't agree on the definition birthplace, then I guess that's a fair point. But I think when you make such a strong statement, I would say Amazon comes from the birthplace comes from a sense of entrepreneurship. Okay, if you have all the vulnerability in the world without the sense of entrepreneurship, Amazon will not be a thing.
Then where does entrepreneurship come from?
Not vulnerability. I would say genetics, your culture, the way you're brought up, the way you think about the world, the way your mind works. I think vulnerability is a component. It's a component of making Amazon, not the birthplace. Right? But if you say vulnerability is a component of innovation, that won't get clicks. That won't be quoted. That won't be a tweet. You know what I mean? So I guess if she's doing it on purpose, very smart. That sells a lot of books. If you have these little pithy sayings like this,
I feel like you're being super literal.
I'm just interpreting the words based on what words mean.
It's just such a strange thing to get hooked up on. It's like she's
No.
saying that.
It's not a strange thing to get hooked up on. It's like you want to be...
What?
She's a
Okay.
researcher. So I expect some sort of scientific rigor in her speech.
Obviously, in a TED Talk that's 20 minutes, when you're viewing it, it's like you can't like go into, and also because a TED Talk is meant to be visible on YouTube. So it is a form of entertainment to be consumed. So you can't go into specifics in a 20-minute,
That's fair.
presentation that's supposed to be, that's on YouTube, that's supposed to be for like, public consumption.
Maybe TED
But-
Talks aren't for me then.
But,
TED Talk as a
what
format.
do you mean?
Because maybe it's not Brene's fault. Maybe it's the format of TED that is not intellectually satisfying enough for me. I expect a bit more rigor. Like I listen to ContraPoints.
Yeah.
She cites the sources, quotes from like philosophers and psychologists, academics. That I work. Philosophy Tube, I watch her channel too. They have a bit more rigor. But she doesn't have any
but-
rigor.
Then instead of saying maybe TED Talks aren't for me, then you say, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I'll read her book, or maybe I'll try to get access to her research. You'll have
plan
to.
to. But
Yeah,
her books
just, like,
have the same reviews though.
contextualize.
The book get the same reviews about how it's hand wavy and just like about her personal story extrapolated. It's not again. It seems like from the reviews I've read of her book, it lacks rigor too. So I'm like, maybe you can recommend me something that has a bit more rigor and a bit more precision in her words, and then we can talk.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
you can do that.
But is that what you go through genuinely? Do you think that's a thing like a lot of people go through? Where
Yeah.
you're not good enough. You're not good. You'll never be good enough. We will
Yeah.
think I'm not good enough yet. I'm not good enough at this yet. I think that's what I think. But maybe I'm extra mentally healthy compared to the rest of the population. But is that what you think? Oh, I'm never gonna be good enough. I'm too fat for this. My dad doesn't love me. Then you go on stage and do stand up. Like what?
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah.
Well, unfalsifiable, I guess.
It's so interesting because it's like
Do
it's
majority
just a
of people
different life
think like that?
experience. This is so funny. It's like you're discovering. You're like,
Well, I'm discovering that
Are
the world
people
is
different
such a
to me?
dark place.
how? Oh my God! How are you discovering that now?
Well, no.
You're from Asia.
I asked a lot of my Asian friends. None of them have thought like, I think it's common sense, right? Oh, I'm not good enough at this yet. But we never think, oh, I'm bad. I don't deserve this. None of us think that.
Then you're
You know?
lucky. Yeah, sure. Great for you guys. But it's like, I think that's a very common thing to have, your inner critic.
Do you think more
that you
people
have.
are in what she's describing, or are more people in the world like what I'm describing?
I don't know. I think maybe it's equal.
I like to
I don't
think
know.
it's more like me. Because
Okay.
otherwise, like, well, I don't know. To me, it's just common sense. Yeah, you're not like bad as a person. You're just bad at this job and you'll get better. To me, that's a
Yeah.
very commonsensical thing.
But that's the thing. Like some people can differentiate that. Some people can differentiate their skill set from their value as a person. But some people have conflated their value as a person with their skill set. And so whatever they do and the result of that is directly reflected upon their core value of themselves as a person.
Just tell me why we have these
Yeah.
voices. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Is it a pharmaceutical industry? Is it like side effects from certain drugs, hormones? Is there a biological basis? Is it chemicals in the water, in the chicken? Or is it cultural? Or is it genetic? Right?
I
That would be
think-
nice to know. Or is it
I think-
socioeconomic pressures? That would be nice to know.
I think the general answer is a mixture of all of that.
Okay,
It's like,
then
I
say
think
more.
it's societal, it's cultural, it's gender, it's heavily influenced by media probably.
Okay.
And it's scarcity. She talks about scarcity a lot. So it's very, she cites scarcity as a big kind of pressure point for this. But if you want to, Brene Brown, if you want to talk to Nigel more specifically about your research, hit Uncle Roger up.
Yeah, slide to my DMs, Brene. We can talk about shame.
Oh my God, Nigel, stop it. Are you finding it tough to make time in your busy schedule to cook a good and healthy meal? Then Green Chef is for you. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. With premium ingredients like organic vegetables and high-quality meat, it's a given. And it's also the most sustainable meal kit, so you can feel good about what you're eating and how it got to your table. It's actually the only meal kit that has a carbon and plastic offset. For me personally, Green Chef has been great because I don't need to think about meal planning. I don't need to think about what I need to buy. I just let them know what I want to eat and they just show up at my door. So right now I'm on keto. And so I just get a meal kit with keto-based dishes. And it's almost like having a personal chef, but way less expensive. Try Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Go to greenchef.com/rice100 and use the code RICE100 to get $100 off, including free shipping. That's greenchef.com/rice100. Use the code RICE100 to get $100 off, including free shipping. It was my brother's birthday the other day.
Oh, how old is he turning?
32.
Oh, okay. 2 years younger than you. Okay. Nice,
2 years younger than I. And we went to a restaurant. The thing is, like, whenever we have a birthday or anything special with my family, we always go to one of either two restaurants. We go to the one, the Chinese one we went to. Hinghua, shout out. In Gothenburg.
The one where they told me that their favorite restaurant is in London.
Yeah.
So they run, these people, they run a Chinese restaurant. And then I sat down, they're like, oh, every time we want to have good Chinese food, we go to London. I'm like, don't tell me this in your own restaurant.
They were trying to impress you.
You should try to impress you and say, every time we want good Chinese food, we come here. That would impress me. Oh.
They were like, oh, Uncle Roger's here. Oh my God, Uncle Roger's here. Oh, and she was trying to make conversation with you. She was so nervous. And like, she even, when I came in, she was like, oh my God, you brought Uncle Roger?
I have that effect on women. Yeah. I have that effect. Well, let's be fair. Mostly I get recognized on the streets by men. Yeah. I have a very
many bros.
I have a very incel-y fan base.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. A lot of bros.
I do have that effect on women. And it's nice. I like it.
She was just nervous. She was nervous meeting Uncle Roger.
Everybody's nervous meeting Uncle Roger, you know. Do you know the number of DMs I get from people who go like, I have 2 phones, Nigel. When are you going to spank me?
Women, I
really appreciate the sentiment. So keep sending those. Even though I can't reply to all of them, but keep sending those. I like it.
No, don't send them.
The context is I talked about how I want to date a woman with 2 phones because that means she's ambitious.
Gosh.
Go get her.
All right. But so the thing is, we go either to that Chinese restaurant or we go to a Turkish restaurant in my town. How does every topic devolve into your sex life? That's what I want to know. How does it devolve
Listeners,
into your sex life?
I hear you. I'll try to. It's a thing I do the most. So of course.
My God.
I'm going to try really hard to keep it clean this episode, okay? It's my hobby. If you do something 3-4 times a week, you can't.
My God. All right. It's.
What do you want me to do? It takes up a big chunk of my life.
Oh, gosh.
Let a divorced man have his fun. Okay? You should be happy I'm like this. Have you seen most divorced people? They're fucking depressed as shit. They're a bummer to be around. And I'm like this. You should be happy. And oh, nice. You have such a good attitude towards being divorced.
No, you're a trope as well. You just go around to sleep with everybody. You're like, you're basically like Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men. That's what you are.
Okay. Well, that's a better trope than you.
Except for like sitting at the piano. You just go, niece's nephew. Oh, I hate Jamie Oliver. That's what you do. Instead of writing jingles, you just do Uncle Roger.
That's funny though. The Jamie Oliver stuff always hits hard. Because he's so confident. It's so easy to make fun of him. He's like, okay, what's up, guys? Today we're going to make this Thai green curry. And then every step is wrong. It's such a cockroach. I love it. It's like, that's why you go to American Idol. You like those shows. You want to see the person who thinks they're really good at singing and then they sing and it's all bad. It's the same vibe when I review Jamie Oliver.
I don't want want to see that. I want to see the person who's really good at singing and has a really tragic backstory, and then they win the competition. And I'm like,
of course, you would say that for someone as mentally unsound. Sorry, that come out really bad. Someone as mentally distraught as you.
Mentally distraught.
What's a proper? Right. What's a political correct term to describe people like you versus people like me?
People like you versus people like me.
But I was thinking, like, most people fall in one of those two camps, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think a correct way would be a nice, compassionate person and douchebag.
Mentally well-adjusted person versus
douchebag. Mentally well-adjusted douchebag versus compassionate, sweet, slightly anxious person.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Mentally well-adjusted versus not mentally well-adjusted but nice person.
I am actually mentally
no shame in that, Evelyn. No shame in that.
Again,
I'm not stigmatizing you. Society does.
No,
I don't stigmatize you.
No, I don't think society does either. I think, honestly, I think, being, what's it called? I think being okay with just like being. I think it's compassionate, really. Just to be like, oh yeah, sometimes I get anxious. Sometimes life is tough. Sometimes things are. And then sometimes life is fun and, easy.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So your brother went to this restaurant. Sorry. You keep bringing it back to my sex, and then I kept getting derailed because of the topic I love talking about.
You keep bringing it back to your sex.
You literally said...
I call you out on it.
Yeah, you called me out, and then what else can we have to address it?
Oh my God.
The same thing. You talk about going to the gym a lot because you started going 4 or 5 times a week.
I've not even talked about it this time.
No, the last few episodes. And I let you talk about it because it's a big part of your life, right? Your personal training, your diet.
I think I've mentioned it like every other episode, maybe.
Okay, whatever.
And just a little bit.
All right, fine. I talk about sex a lot. We gotta think about it a lot, okay? Fine.
Oh my God.
Just doing good for the Asian brothers out there. Been seen as sexless for too long and invisible when it comes to the sexual marketplace.
God. You need to get... Nigel, stop. You need to just get more strings on your bow.
I have a lot of strings. I'm a radical feminist too.
Oh my God.
Wait, I work as well. I don't just have sex all day. I do gigs and shit. All right. Sorry. So you went to this Chinese restaurant.
Oh my God. We didn't go to the Chinese restaurant. Was my point.
Okay, didn't go to the Chinese restaurant.
Okay, so the point is, my brother, he didn't want to go to these restaurants because we always go there. So he wanted to try something new. So we went to an Italian restaurant and we sat down. Yeah, and we ordered food. And my brother got the 3-course dinner because it was his birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't because I'm on a diet. And my parents didn't either because they're cheap. And the thing is,
such a dysfunctional family. That's people staring at your brother eating.
Yeah, basically. And criticizing and critiquing. Because my parents have both worked in the restaurant industry. So they were just like critiquing our waitress for how she was serving us. And to be fair to them, she wasn't very good.
Like what stuff are they saying?
They were like, oh, she doesn't, she's coming with the plates before she's coming with the plates before the utensils. Oh, that's bad. Or like, oh, she's giving us the side dishes. Like she's giving us the main dish before the side dishes. That's wrong too. You give the side dishes before the main dishes. Like they just went through all of that stuff. And then they were critiquing the food as well, because it was like my brother had an entree, which is a toast with like a shrimp kind of cocktail thing. And it's a very like common, my city's known for it. It's called Skagenröra. And so he was eating it and enjoying it. And then my mom was like, let me taste it. And she tasted it. She was like, this isn't good at all. This isn't good at all. I make it much better.
Oh,
Next
Asian
time
parents
you want to
always
eat it,
always
I'm
say
going to
that.
make it. Sorry?
Asian parents always say that.
I know.
Yeah, we can make it better at home. We got this at home. We got this at home.
Yeah. And that's what my mom said. She's like, next time you want to eat it, if you want to eat a real one, I'm going to make it for you. I'll make it for you. And my brother was like, I'm just trying to enjoy my birthday. I'm just trying to enjoy this meal. And then our mains come.
I think, sorry, before you go to the mains, I think your mom needs some Brene Brown, I think you should introduce your Asian mom to Brene Brown. Can we do a reaction video? No,
that'd be really funny.
Film introducing my Asian mom to Brene Brown and see how she bitches about her.
That's really funny. She'd be like, who is this bitch?
Who this white lady? What is vulnerability? What is this?
Yeah.
This bitch don't know shit.
She's like, just suck it up.
You want vulnerability? I got vulnerability at home. No need to go out to find.
Yeah. Don't buy her books.
I write my own book for you about vulnerability.
Yeah, much better. Chapter 1. Shut up. It was just like, it's just every time you eat with Asian parents out, they always criticize.
They are
but then when the people, they're always killjoying. But then when the waitress comes by and she's like, how was the food? My parents are like, oh yeah, it's great. And then just go back to like, oh, this is overcooked. Oh, this is so chewy. Oh, they can't cook here. I was like, oh. And then they gave me shit. Because I ordered a pizza and it was a West Coast pizza. So a Swedish West Coast pizza, which means that it's a seafood pizza, basically. They have creme fraiche, like a strong cheese, and then they have rum on there, whitefish roe.
Wait, roe or rum? Or both?
So roe, roe, it's roe. In Swedish, it's called rum, it's roe. Yeah. So it's like whitefish roe on the pizza with creme fraiche, a bit of like dill and some strong cheese. Okay. And it's like my favorite thing ever. And my parents criticized me because it was expensive. And they were like, it doesn't even look like it tastes good.
Did they even try it? Did they even try it?
Yeah, they did try it. They didn't try it.
Yeah, don't bring your Asian parents to like a Western place, man. They come at you with your takeaway price list. Yeah. It's just like when you go out with Asian parents, it's like there's a reason we always go to a Chinese restaurant because they know what to expect. Yeah. You know what my dad does? Like you bring him to a place, or it doesn't even have to be a place. You can just bring him to a shop. He would tell you what the base cost of that item is. Like I said, I bought these glasses there, and he looked at it as, you can get these in China, just manufacture these for like £5. You pay how much? £150? Always the base cost of it. I'm like, that's how businesses work, that. They have to make a profit, so they're not going to sell it to you at base, like bulk cost. Sure. Yeah. I can get this from China wholesale for £5, so I have to get 1,000 of them. I'm never going to fly to China to get a pair of glasses. That's why I pay a markup for the convenience. It's how business works.
How does he know that?
Oh, he's worked in the manufacturing industry before. Or he just talks out his ass sometimes. I buy some camera gear. Like, I can get a Chinese brand. They just make it for like £20, right? You know that, right? I'm like, yeah, I know. Or the food stuff. These fish balls is only like 20p. How much you paying? That's not how business works. Base cost is not retail cost. They can't get it in their heads.
Yeah, they can't get it in their heads. That's so funny. It's funny that he does the base price. That's really funny.
So he thinks he's getting ripped off because he's not paying base price.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
I've seen him shop at a Malaysian market, and he would ask the guy, "What's your base price?"
Are you serious? And will he then just pay that?
And then the guy would just kind of play the game. It's negotiation, right?
Yeah.
And he say he's buy a little toy or something, and that's $20, and he was like, I'm sure your base price is just $2, right? And then the guy would say, he'll play the game. He's like, no, it's not that low. I barely make any money on this. I give you 15 minimum.
Yeah.
So they both play the game. I'm like, how rude is that? Can you imagine doing that here?
Yeah.
You go see a show, go see Cirque du Soleil, and you ask the performers, how much did it actually cost you to come here? Because I paid £50 for this. I don't think it was worth this. I don't think this is a base cost. How much was your gas and your travel fees? You take that money, divide by the people who come here, that's what I should be paying you.
Or just go to every performer just like, I just pay you direct, okay?
Yeah.
I just pay you direct. It's okay. I pay you direct. Nobody. That's so funny.
Yeah. Let me Alipay you. Let me send you Alipay.
Alipay? Does that exist now in China?
Yeah, I think Malaysia will use it too now.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. It's like you pay with WeChat or something. It's part of WeChat, I think. Yeah,
That's
but
really smart.
Alipay. Even in London, you can use it.
Really?
A lot of Chinese restaurants accept Alipay. That's how you know if a Chinese restaurant's good. If they accept Alipay, that means Chinese people eat there. So, listeners, top tip.
Alipay.
Wagamamas never will accept Alipay. So
Yeah. Never. Well, that's the thing. That's the only like place that I can see myself become like my Asian parents is if I go to a fusion restaurant. Like, because I went to a fusion restaurant yesterday with my friends.
only Chinese people should make Chinese food.
I agree, Nigel. Only
Yeah.
Chinese people should make Chinese food. Well, the thing is, we go there and it's a fusion place and it's just Swedish people running around, Swedish people in the kitchen. And then the only Asian dude I see in there is behind the bar making drinks. And I'm like, your talent is wasted there, sir. Like, just stop it. And then I don't know if it's Chinese people who own it, but it was just Swedish people. And then we sit down and it's like one of these like fusion places where they're like, they say on the menu, it says dim sum, but what it actually was just like, just a mixture of like, you know, just small dishes, basically. They had like, they called them Shanghai ribs or a Szechuan ribs, but they were not spicy. They were just soy-y. They weren't even sweet. It was like, it tasted like nothing. But this was like the different type of things they had on the dim sum. They had like tuna tartare, beef tartare, beef salad. And it was just a mixture from everywhere. And then they had buns as well. And so I was like, and then she sits down. The waitress comes and she sits down. She's like, have you guys been here before? I'm like, no. And then she's like, do you know how it works? And I'm like, it's basically Asian tapas, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, shut up. Don't talk to me. I'm really already angry. And so
You chose to go to the restaurant.
I know.
Why did you do that to yourself?
Because I was going to take my friends to get Chinese food, and the Chinese that we went to, which is like my regular haunt, Hinghua, by the way, shout out, was closed. It's closed on Tuesdays, which is so inconvenient.
Very inauthentic, you know.
I know, but
You should never be
they've made
closed.
it. They've made it so they can afford to have one day off.
No. Want to be a true Asian restaurant, you don't close. Okay.
Yeah, I know. You're open 24/7.
Yeah.
But so basically,
But I get
we had
the
to go
waitress
here.
though. I get the waitress why the waitress was so happy you knew it. You know, because it's
Why?
like you don't want to assume, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
because I'm Chinese.
Yeah. So she's kind of doing what you would like white people to do to you.
No, this is the one instance where I would love them to have prejudice.
How are people gonna read your mind? Oh, this is the instance where Evelyn wants a substance, but this is not the
Yeah.
instance Evelyn wants. Oh, so we need to read your mind now, woman?
Yeah, well, just assume I'm an Asian lady walking into a terrible pan fusion restaurant and just like, do you know how it works? Just be like, okay, you probably know how it works, right? I'm so sorry.
I'm kind of on the restaurant side. I'm kind of on the restaurant side.
I want her to come and apologize to me. I want her to be like, I'm so sorry. This is like, you know, we basically made it. We Swedified your food. I'm so sorry. I know that you're used to the original, but you know, I'm so sorry. Here, we've put dumplings in a Thai
There's no
red curry sauce. Like, Nigel, one of the dishes was 4 pieces of steamed chicken dumplings in like just like a little bit of coconut, you know, red curry coconut sauce.
Listen.
Like, soup, basically. Like, it was just like the soup just covered the bottom of the dish. It wasn't even a soup. So the meaning was that was the dipping sauce for the dumpling. And I was like, you fucking bastards.
Well,
I hate you.
The more you're talking about the story, the more unreasonable you're making yourself out to sound. Because,
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
When people assume you're not from this country, you get all upset. But when people assume you don't know about Chinese food because you're from this country, you get upset. It's like, what should we do, woman? What should we do? Right?
Just be.
We assume you're just like the
do
other
as I
Swedish
want.
people. We just assume you're like just like the other Swedish people, and then
Well,
you
no,
get
it's the same. It's the same. It's the same problem there. It's the same type of racism because they're like, oh, she's probably adopted. She's probably adopted. You fucking turds.
No, she wants to treat you like how she treats other Swedish people. That I don't know how you got so upset.
No,
because-
I know, but I'm upset because of comedic purposes. But I think it's funny. I think she should apologize to me. She should just come in there and be like, okay. So basically, this isn't my restaurant. This is run by a guy called like Kalle. He went to Asia once and just fell in love with the food, and so he wanted to bring it over. And I know we're bastardizing your food. I know that, but like, and I know we're charging way too much money for it, and we're not even doing it correctly. But like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But would you like something to drink?
I find that very patronizing.
What do you mean to them or to me?
Well, when if a woman, I won't end up at a Wagamama's, but if someone at Wagamama's comes out and says this to me, I know you're from Asia and you're sorry about the food. I find it funny how hard it is to deal with you. Makes assumptions, but don't make assumptions. I'm from here, but I'm not from here. Okay, I know better food, but don't think I'm not from here. Don't ask me where I'm from, but I'm not from here. Okay?
Yeah, because I am a complicated person.
Yeah, I'm from here, but I like the food. I know the food because I'm not from here. So assume, flip a coin. I might be upset, I love you. Flip a coin.
You can hold two truths at the same time.
Yeah,
two
but
things
you
can
can't
be true
expect people to. You can't expect everybody to know conveniently know the two truths and then adjust their behaviors based on those.
Yes, you can. In my mind, you can.
Who's the one without compassion now?
No, I'm totally compassionate. I think you should riff with me on this.
Women.
Oh God! Don't go
don't even know what they want. Just
Why are you going that way?
It's funny. It's a juxtaposition to my radical feminist, Nigel.
I don't know if it's...
Look at these women. Just want the world to bend the will to them. And they get offended by everything.
Okay.
Women.
But yes, that's the only place that I can see myself being like my parents is like pan fusion Asian food.
Yeah.
Like I just can't. I had to be on my best behavior to not release this in front of my friends yesterday.
Well, I wonder which Nigel people like more, radical feminist Nigel or radical misogynist Nigel.
I wonder who they like more.
I wonder. Both two very unreasonable people.
Oh, Nigel.
Give me your ovaries, women. Implant them into me. I'll pay you 80%.
All right. I think we're at a good point to round off. Remember, if you see me in a pan fusion restaurant, come and apologize to me.
Wow.